Today I want to discuss my most recent psychedelic experience, which was also my most intense in my life. Now let me get on to the story then. So Yopo is like a seed which you pop open essentially and you crush up into like a snuff powder. And I don't know how much you're supposed to have on a measurement. If you've listened to my other videos, you will understand that I do not necessarily know how to measure things. I if I had a measuring thing, I could learn it, but I just took big ol' scoop of it, blew it right up my nose. Took another big ol' scoop of it, blew it up my nose. And what I was expecting was some nausea, followed by time sat alone reflecting on the realizations and things that would come to be known from the substance. What actually happened was I ended up having to go to the bathroom. And so entering the bathroom, everything started to shift. And I knew that I was just in essentially the waiting room of what was to come. So I decided soon enough, I have to get out of the bathroom and get back to my room. And so that's what I attempted to do. Got up, walked to the door, got outside, walked to my shed, realized I was staring the other way, and thought, well, I should probably get back over there and try to find the shed. This went on for about, I'd say, 10 minutes that I have recollection of, until suddenly I opened the door and I'm looking inside my living room, which doesn't make sense based upon where I was exiting. I was leaving out the back door and I enter the front door suddenly. And so in this realization, my dad asked me, "Are you okay?" And I didn't know. I said, "I don't know." In that exact second, boom, suddenly I'm teleported and I'm inside of my room. Everything is just dark blue. And the only word I can say is Navy, 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 Navy. Because I don't know, I guess it's navy blue, or I don't even fucking know, but being yelled at, and then suddenly, boom, I teleport again, and I'm laying on the floor outside by the front door. And I see my dad there, and he punched me 2 times or something, and then I black out again. And after that, I don't necessarily remember coming back to, but more so just remember being mid-action with the idea that I'm trying to get to my couch. I wanted to just breathe or put some music on or just anything. And so I remember trying to get over my fence, and somehow I guess I got to the wrong fence. I'm climbing up, and then suddenly I'm on a roof. And I just keep moving, and it was weird because it was like I could kind of recognize like this, wait a second, how did I get up here? How am I over here? What's going on? But at the same time kind of realized that I was a slave to my body's own desire to do what it was doing, like as if there was something that was happening so I didn't have control over. And so I remember at some point I then jump off and it goes to black again. So I don't know if I hit the ground and that knocked me out, or if it was just kind of how the consciousness just kept flashing out back and forth. And when I wake up again, I'm just staring up at the sky. And at this point, all I can think is I just need to find a way to get my body completely still or something. I have to stop moving. I have to, until I can gain back composure enough to not keep blacking out. And then boom. It was suddenly unlike any of these other previous blackouts, because when it blacked out this time, it was almost like the lights went out, only to have a new kind of light come back on. And it wasn't like the color of a light necessarily, it was like energy. And I was then absorbed into this full immersion of this greenish orange energy. Not like a greenish orange mix, but like it was like green, and if you looked at certain areas it kind of gave off like an orange, and it didn't seem like it was like contradicting, like they went along with each other very well. And I was kind of stuck in this thought, and all I could really think was I was somebody. I had lived a life like I've done before, and that now I was back. I was back, like, to source. I guess, and so I didn't necessarily feel much shame or sadness or happiness or anything. I just kind of was just there, completely unassociated to the world. And, well, I have conflicting views or reasons for why this happened how it did, because I do have to add the detail of I was completely out of it, but at this point an officer had taken me and had ketamined me. And so I was experiencing a mixed trip of ketamine and Yopo. And I don't know exactly if they synergized necessarily, but they did. At least it allowed me either to experience myself at source, like I was gone, I was back there, or it was chemicals combining in my brain to create a false sense of something. Now, whether it was one or the other, I don't really know. And I don't know if I will ever know. And then, boom, disappear again. And when I wake up my eyes again, there I am. I'm in an ambulance. And I'm thinking, okay, so nothing was real. I must be still in my heroin overdose. This must be a 5-year hallucination. And it ends with me realizing that I'm in the ambulance heading to the hospital unless I die. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so everything in life was just a creation of my own mind. So that being the case, what exactly does this mean for life? Did I live good? And all these different thoughts, and then black out again. And when I come back to again, they realize I'm there, and they ask me, what did you take? What did you take? And I start kind of getting back my recollection. I'm like, oh, okay, I know where I am now. And I tell them, I took Datura. Because at the time I thought, oh, fuck, I must have taken my Datura. I must have taken too much of it and thought that I was seeing everything, and that this must be a hallucination of the Datura I was having. And so these little things keep flashing my mind that I must be on this or I must be on that, not remembering what I actually was on. And finally, I have this kind of like thing where my eyes close again, and I'm like in this weird world of energy, kind of. And as I'm in there, it looks almost like the energy has like this, it's like a grayish cloud almost. Like it started off as a green energy, but it was like kind of losing its touch, and then it becomes the gray. And then there's like a hospital, almost like in GTA 4 almost, but not exactly, because I don't actually know why I associated it with the GTA hospital, but that's just what my brain went to when I was seeing it even. And when I opened my eyes again, I was up in a hospital room. So I don't know. I guess with my eyes closed, I was with having the stuff still in my system, I was able to kind of astral project myself or something. I'm not exactly sure, but so yeah, that was pretty much the experience. After that, they talked me in the hospital. They said, we drug tested you and you have absolutely nothing in your system, not even alcohol. And of course I said to them, of course I don't have alcohol in my system. I don't drink alcohol. You have to drink to have that. And so, yeah, they let me out a few hours later. They didn't really trust that I'd be fine. I think they genuinely were surprised that it wasn't methamphetamine or bath salts or whatever the hell people use in this redneck area. But yeah, and so that is the story of how I over-experienced Yopo. Tune in next time and you will be able to hear the interesting and unique experiences of Mr. Banyuwagi. Please subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you feel like you want to do. But subscribing will be the best way to see the videos when they come out in the future. Goodbye.